What's up, Pisces? So we got a card description first, and this card was pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck by Adriana Ayales, and then we'll go into the actual reading itself after, okay? And the card for this reading is Milk Thistle with the subtext of Peaceful Warrior. Peaceful Warrior, Shield, Truth Keeper, Shelter, Sanctuary, Safekeeping, Justice. Native to the Mediterranean, the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorides was the first to write down milk thistle's healing properties in the 1st century AD. Milk thistle was a remedy for diseases of melancholy, assisted in the production of breast milk, and acted as a powerful anti-inflammatory for the liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle's characteristic violet fuchsia flowers and white veined leaves are said to embody the Virgin Mary's milk. There are many magical rituals associated with this protective flower. Traditionally, flowers were thrown into the fire to deflect lightning, and garments were woven with thistle fibers to protect the wearer from any spells. Dolls, puppets, and magical tools were often stuffed with thistle to break negative, depressive spells, melancholy, and evil taxes. In Europe, witches would make large vats of thistle to call in the spirits. A bowl of thistle tea in a room is said to revitalize energy, bring strength, and renew the spirits. Thistle was often planted in entryways to ward off thieves or parasitic energy. Milk thistle embodies the spirit of the fierce badger, as it's an aggressive healer known to rid the body of disease, poison, and toxic substances. Many Native American traditions associate badger medicine with powerful medicine women, as badgers are some of the great protectors of Earth's medicine. Badgers act quickly and efficiently in a crisis, and they do not panic. Embodying the primal warrior elements of Mars, badgers fearlessly find the means and courage to protect what's theirs, regardless of their consequences. Milk thistle also falls under the moon's rulership, as it's a galactagogue, meaning that it assists in milk production, along with assisting the entire gastrointestinal system. This is the guidance portion. Milk thistle dispels the damaging and destructive thoughts that can induce an endless loop of self-sabotage. Abandon insecurity, gossip, fear-based protection strategies that enable frustration and a false sense of growth. Do not waste your time with trying to control what cannot be controlled. Like a peaceful warrior, set boundaries firmly and fearlessly. Like the badger, milk thistle shakes up systems that hinder innovation and halts patterns and behaviors that stunt growth. Know what you are not changing, you are choosing. Okay, I think the first image I have in my mind is the idea of this concept of Pisces and the warrior dynamic in general. I think you guys should understand a few things. I'm thinking about a few different warrior archetypes, and maybe we'll go through more than one, but we'll see how this goes. This idea of particularly the patience of particularly a warrior in mist, right? A warrior that is they don't really have a line of sight, but they are patient. They are able to sense and utilize really their other senses and there is no real panic. It's just simply sitting and waiting, because they are confident and secure and able to just do what needs to be done in any situation. That's kind of when I think about a peaceful warrior here. This one of the things that really struck me. Also, the idea of concept of Musashi, Miyamoto Musashi. If you guys haven't heard about him, I'm pretty sure he was a philosopher, but he was definitely a swordsman as well. But the idea here was like, there was a security, a deep security in, Miyamoto's ability to, move through the world, and without necessarily having to project his ability to fight. But he won a lot of battles, right? But it didn't make up his, it didn't dominate his energetic imprint, right? Being a warrior, that didn't dominate the energetic imprint. That wasn't important in his everyday interactions with the people and with everyone around him. And the last archetype that I'm really thinking about is this concept of there's an anime, and for those that don't know, it's basically like a Japanese cartoon, but it's for adults. But the idea here is like, there's one where, what is it called? I remember the guy's name was Thorfinn, and that is basically the idea was this kid, he grows up, or he doesn't grow up, he's a kid, and he really wants to be a warrior when he grows up, right? And this idea of being a warrior is just something that he needs to do, right? And his dad apparently was like just one of the best warriors, and he ends up like going out with his dad. His dad is actually killed, and the guy who kills his dad, or the people that kill his dad, end up taking him in, and it's complicated. It's very complicated. But in that particular story, like, his dad was telling him, like, hey, this isn't, being able to fight. His dad was he bested the warriors. The only reason why they were able to kill him was because they actually took the kid and basically used him as leverage, and then they killed him based off of that. And this idea of the warrior archetype, this kid, he grew up and he realized a few things. One, that wasn't a warrior, right? That idea of what a warrior wasn't necessarily embedded in his father's ability to essentially best that crew of people that ended up kidnapping him and was able to use him as leverage to kill his dad. That wasn't his ability, or that wasn't really what a warrior was. And this idea of what you guys may need to understand is that there needs to be a redefinition for what a warrior is now, what it can be, and what that means for you in terms of how you operate in this world. The idea of moving and being fearless, the true fearless people, they don't project. They're not trying to project strength. That's not where their energy goes. Their energy doesn't go in projecting strength. Their energy goes into, simply trying to be able to interact with the world in a positive way. Okay. And this is something that you should understand, that being naturally, just being aggressive in every single situation and trying to promote yourself as aggressive. I've heard it called as basically like this is kind of a defense. I've heard it as used as it's really just a defense measure, right? Like, hey, you can't, you should basically trying to promote fear to hide the fact that, or to really just try to not be a victim, right? Rather than simply just existing and trying to promote positive interactions with the world. That's a new level of security. Maybe we need to rethink this idea of what it means to really be secure in this world, and to really understand moving through this world in a way that is secure. If you are not, I think you should, first off, I think everybody needs to understand the concept of what it means to be a warrior, in terms of actually be able to stand up for yourself, be firm and set boundaries. But they should not be projecting to inspire fear. That's not really, I don't think we would, I wouldn't necessarily call that a warrior's mentality. So understand that, and move through the world with that understanding of being a positive person is a lot. I mean, you seem much more like a warrior in those particular circumstances than the idea of trying to project fear into others. So watch out. And also the idea of I'll say being able and willing to disengage in areas like gossip and things like that. You should also understand and not really be willing to put your energy into topics that you realize would not serve your energy well, in terms of understanding that you participate in those, right? Because when we do things, they do have an impact on our energetic imprint, right? When we do things that we're not proud of, they do have an impact on us. And even if in those things, when we don't live by the or we live a way that is contradictory, and that we're really, maybe we would be ashamed of if the other element of us knew that particular way. We do have a very real, and there's a very real impact in the world of the unseen, and that would hinder your ability to really inhabit that warrior energy in that world. So be careful, and be ready to essentially, or not be ready, but be willing to be a warrior and set your boundaries, and gain that confidence in your ability to set boundaries and stand up for yourself. If anything, I hope you have a good week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.